Hello, and welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Geoffrey Card, and this is my co-host, Brant Fitzgerald.
Hi.
Who is back after a long absence, and we're going to be playing patch 3.0 version of State of Decay 2. So we'll jump right into that. We've updated the community we've been playing. So now, instead of being with a tiny community at the Mazzara farm, we got an 8-person community staying at Whitney Field. So
look at all this great stuff.
We built a bunch of stuff. We've even built our leader project so we can start making progress on getting these guys through a legacy. Because we've been playing this team for quite some time. We started to kind of exhaust the map, so we should probably start moving on pretty soon.
Okay.
So, but we don't need to do that this particular session. We can probably just clear out some infestations.
We've got some work to do with infestations, and we also need to identify some plague hearts.
However, you do have the best backpack in the game right now.
Yes, of course.
So, Expert Wanderer on Mixer raised the question. Said that basically there are some new issues that arose with patch 3.0 and wanted to know if we're aware of them. And we want to say yes, we are definitely aware that patch 3.0 went out with a couple of new issues that we didn't catch before the patch went out. The most prominent ones are we've got some missions tend to spawn with NPCs missing. So you go to the mission, you go to the location of the mission, and you're supposed to talk to somebody, and when you get there, the person isn't there. It definitely doesn't happen all the time, but there are certain missions where it happens more often, certain locations where it happens more often. And just today, I was watching some programmers work on it, and they've started to identify what's going wrong, and we've got potentially fixes in the work for that. We've also got an audio bug where, and this one is really weird and hard to reproduce because it tends to happen maybe when you're driving a car, but what happens is you get a very loud scratching sound, and then all the audio just bugs out until it's completely silent until you go back to the main menu and restart the game. So because that one is so random and happens so little, it went right past our radar, and we didn't see it until the patch went out. And that's a difficult one to chase down, too, because we can't just make it happen whenever we want to see what's going on. We have to just play for a while and hope that it happens, and hope that we're lucky. So, and hope that we have the right debug tools in place to catch what might have gone wrong. So we're working hard on both of those issues, as well as a few other smaller ones, and we're sorry that those slipped out. Like that certainly wasn't the intent, and we're going to try to get fixes for those in place as soon as we possibly
Contrary to popular belief, we actually want this game to run smooth and for everyone's experience to be wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. And for us, I mean, Brant and I both play the game a fair amount after hours, and we want the game to be fun for us. We don't want to have to quit to make sound come back and things like that. So we're working to get this stuff fixed as fast as we can. So I hope that answers your question, Expert Wanderer, and we'll definitely get these addressed as soon as is humanly possible. And at the same time, we're still working on new upcoming stuff, including State of Decay 2 Daybreak, which we don't have any new information for today.
Except that it's only 18 feet away from us.
Yeah, exactly. It's on a screen right over there that we can't show you. But we will have new information on it very soon, so keep watching games coverage and keep your eye out, because it won't be too long before you can know a lot more about what that new game mode entails. So later on in the stream, we're going to be doing a giveaway of the Independence Pack. So if you don't have the pack yet, pay attention to the discussion. The trivia, we're going to ask a trivia question about the 3.0 patch notes. So if you're familiar with what went on in those patch notes, then you'll definitely have an advantage for getting your answer out quickly and being one of the people we're drawing from to get a free copy of the Independence Pack.
Also, thanks for continuing to play the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
We keep trying to make it better. We keep trying to improve it, and we wouldn't have a reason to do so without you guys and your continued support. And thanks for sticking with us. We're trying hard. We really want to make this game the game, the go-to, right, for all of your zombie smashing needs.
So the Blaze Experience, who is our favorite podcaster, has a question for you. He wants to know if you can give sort of a rough idea of what makes one bug easier or harder to fix than another bug. Because some of these, we were talking about the fact that some of these bugs are just particularly nasty, and it's hard to find an answer for them. Like, what makes the difference?
Well, I mean, a lot of times when we're getting down to bugs that sometimes we had to avoid because they just took too long, like we weren't going to have a chance to delve in and find them. Others are dependency bugs. Like we might do a fix that has a whole bunch of dependencies that and situational dependencies. Like let's say you have certain people or certain NPCs or have missions for your group, and we fix something else that we didn't know had a dependency in that bug, or for any combination of weird things. Like some of these bugs show up in the least expected areas, especially when they don't seem related, and that we just don't have the ability to test every possible combination, and that's why we release a patch, and then within a few hours we start getting bug reports from a lot of people. It's because there's millions of people playing this game, right?
So something that doesn't happen very often for us, something where we might never encounter it, will be encountered by 10,000 people out in the wild,
or 300. It just it just depends on a lot of weird sort of combos and situations that we simply just can't test for.
Yeah, because a lot of times, because the game is made by so many people, it's every individual on this team knows things that other people don't know, and it's hard to sort of track down all that information. Like there was a bug that I was fixing just recently that had to do with the inventories of the body. So when the Red Talon trader comes into the map, he or she brings a couple of bodyguards with him, and I needed to fix a bug with the inventories of those bodyguards, and so I just. On a hunch, after I changed their inventories, I did a lookup inside Unreal to find out where else the character schema for those bodyguards was used, and I found like 4 other places where those bodyguards appeared that I didn't realize they appeared. And so the change I made was pretty innocuous and didn't matter that much to those. But if I had done something destructive, if I had completely deleted that character schema, or if I had fundamentally changed what kind of character it was, I could have messed up like 4 other missions without realizing that I was doing so if I hadn't made that check. And so that kind of thing happens all the time. In that particular case, I knew what to look for, but a lot of the time you just don't even know what to look for. You don't even know. You make a change to what feels like a very small part of the game, and then that change. It turns out there were 7 other parts of the game that were depending on things working a very specific way. And when you make that change, it breaks 7 other things. And when you're testing your own work, usually you just test the thing that you changed. And so it could go completely by you that you made a destructive change somewhere else in the game. And there's just the only way to catch it is just to do a lot of ad hoc testing. Just a lot of testers just trying random things that have nothing to do with changes people have made recently.
Yeah, the best possible scenario would be to release a patch to the wild, you guys, and then have metrics to track everybody's stuff. And when all you guys come up with your crazy combos and start running into these bugs, then we start getting reporting. But that's not possible.
So True Bulgarian wants to know how many lines of code in the game. I don't think that's even a metric we track. It's just lots.
Well, I'm sure somebody knows, but that's not something that. It's more than 7.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the bulk of a game like this will just be common engine stuff. That wasn't created specifically for the game. It's just stuff that we brought in because we were using a middleware engine, and so it's hard to really sort of estimate the size and complexity of a game by just saying how many lines of code there are. And what counts as code too? Do we also count all of the art? As part of the code? It's I don't know. I don't even know quite what the question means. But
yeah, there's a lot. Couldn't begin to tell you what that means.
I guess look at the size of the install and multiply that by something. I don't know what exactly. Here. Oh, okay, cool. So I just confirmed with Megan that we can talk about this. So we got a question from Gooniverse asking if Daybreak is going to be at Gamescom. And yes, Daybreak is going to be at Gamescom. In fact, it's going to be playable on the show floor. So if you are one of our players from Europe, or if you're just planning on going to to Germany specifically for Gamescom.
Get to Germany.
Yeah, get to Germany and check it out, because you'll be able to play sort of a scaled down demo version of Daybreak. The entire Daybreak experience won't be on the show floor. They'll be showing it to press behind closed doors, but but you'll be able to play a version of Daybreak there on the show floor. So if you're going to be there, check it out. We're pretty excited for people to actually get their hands on it for the first time.
New and exciting.
Yeah, so it's a new way to play the game, and it's getting pretty slick. So we can look at it right over there. It's looking pretty cool.
I can't.
Asgard SGC wants to know if we're gonna have more holiday-themed zombies, like on Halloween or Christmas or something like that. I don't think we made any solid plans on that. There were mixed feelings about the Independence Day zombies, the Revolutionary War zombies. There were some people who thought they were hilarious, and then there were other people who were like, keep your funny zombies out of my serious zombie experience. So we're gonna have to sort of make some careful choices about that in the future. Personally, I loved the Revolutionary War zombies and thought they were hilarious. In fact, I still think they're hilarious. We haven't quite taken them out yet.
I don't know if we're gonna completely remove them.
I don't think we are. No, I think we're gonna at some point de-emphasize them so that they show up rarely, like the clowns.
Yeah.
But they're definitely going to be a lot less dominant at some point in the future. But yeah, I was a big fan of them. I really like them. So I'd love to see more stuff like that in the future. But it's going to be a careful choice, because we really want to. We don't want to look like we're just making this game for us, though we are a big part of our own audience. We definitely want people to feel like we're paying attention to what they really want. So, I don't know. If it was easy to do like some kind of poll, I'd poll you guys and be like, who likes crazy weird zombies and who wants no crazy weird zombies?
Oh, I have gunslinging. Why have I not been using it? So I just killed a whole bunch of infestations. So
what do we want to do now? Do we want to use we can use the radio option.
Should we research some exits?
Oh, we could research exits and just get out of here altogether, or we could look for plague hearts and try to legacy our way out of this.
Yeah, let's
locate a plague heart.
Speaking of revolutionary, I don't know why people are so upset. We have a very healthy reenactment society in all three of our maps, and they just happen to, on the 4th of July, they happen to want to commemorate the Revolutionary War. So,
Makes perfect sense to me.
It's not going to play well in Germany, but
Germany's going to be like, who are these people? What's going on? This is a completely, maybe that style of outfit was known in Germany, but in a completely different historical context. I wonder, when a German sees a tricorner hat, I wonder what does that evoke? To us, it makes us think of like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Lafayette and Cornwallis, but like what does a German think of?
Probably bad fashion choices.
Maybe so.
Oh, you've already got this. Look at you. I can use artillery strikes too. What am I doing? Oh, looking for Plague Heart. Oh, wow. Down here. All right. Time to get a Oh, get off. Let's take a trip to Treasure Island first here.
All right. Okay, Maze 1, I've definitely heard you. I'll go back and I'll see what's possible when it comes to army outfits on zombies. Can't make you any promises, but I'll definitely look into it again.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, nice. It's one nice thing. It's nice to feel confident driving around in my fanciest car now that we've got the stuck command for vehicles, because I upped. Basically, I've never driven this car. I upgraded it in my base. It was automatically transferred to the new base, but I was just so scared to drive this car because I knew I was going to do something terrible to it.
Well, the other problem is that you let Brian play, and he tends to
high center his vehicles,
to drive like a madman, not trying to preserve anything.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I did once patch 3.0 hit. Was I went and I found all the vehicles that Brian had stranded high centered on top of objects, and I unstuck them all.
All right, I think I'm probably going to run out of gas pretty soon.
Oh, Takuro Spirit asks, can we make those pop-ups on the left bigger or longer lasting? I hate it when my crops lose water and I miss the notification. Well, that's a good piece of feedback. I'll take a note of that, and we'll bear that in mind. I'm not sure exactly how much control we have over how long certain notifications last, but it seems like, I don't know, it's something worth looking at. Thanks for the feedback. So folks are asking if the game got more difficult with the 3.0 patch. If zombies got faster, if there's more faster zombies, if hordes are bigger. There's a few different things that people are sort of self-reporting, experiencing more difficult stuff in the game. And I don't think so. I think that's just one issue you have anytime anything. You have a game that's got a lot of elements that are randomly determined, like the frequency or size of hordes, how often fast zombies show up, or whatever. Is that you're going to have spikes. Anything that's random has got it has sort of a spiky feel to it, where you'll suddenly see surges in difficulty, and then
I ran out of gas in
the middle of a field
inside of my base.
Nice, that is beautiful.
No,
you might have some in the back.
Oh no, I actually brought some. Why did I come back here? Because I'm a bad player. P1 knows that. He's the last one who jumped into my game with me, and he's like, "Oh boy, this guy is terrible." Oh, there's gas everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I filled that one with gas. I knew it was going to run out real fast.
There's gas everywhere. Oh boy. Okay.
So, so True Vulgarian is saying the game definitely feels more difficult since the patch. So if it genuinely got more difficult, it wasn't intentional. It was just something that happened as a byproduct of something else we were doing. I think chances are, though, that what people are seeing is, the game does steadily get more difficult over time as you play, and there are spikes in difficulty. And so there's a decent chance that anytime we drop a patch, a certain percentage of players will immediately have a difficulty spike afterwards, or at least a slight difficulty upswing, and it'll feel like the game got harder.
It's probably because the game is getting closer to what we had hoped to ship.
Yeah, maybe so.
Like we wanted it to get tougher. It makes me sad when people say this game's too easy and I don't want to play it anymore, because that was never. We never wanted you to get to a plateau and say, "Oh, I've done it. I've
won this game.
I've won this game." Oh, you've already been to Treasure Island.
Have I? There's something searchable there.
Yeah, I'm not going to find a hand cannon in. Well, you never know.
You can find something anywhere. But yeah, so we definitely have ideas in mind for how we can stay ahead of the. We've already fallen behind the difficulty curve for players, but how we can try to leap ahead of it and sort of play catch up. So keep watching this space. Hopefully, at some point, we'll be able to talk about some of our plans. But right now, we don't have anything to reveal.
It's on our radar.
So Takuro Spirit says, "I find parts inside gas cans." Yeah, that's one of my favorite places to find parts too.
We also find chips. Don't eat those. I'm just gonna say, those are probably not the most healthy snacks. The ones that have been soaked in gasoline. This was not a good decision. This is a good example of making bad choices in our game. I cannot drive up there, so I'm going to go around.
And maybe I do have so. Because of a bug with the way that vehicles are distributed in missions, I kind of have about 7 Jeeps in the middle of the map. So if you're looking for an no,
don't get stuck. No, Feral. I don't care about that. I don't care about Feral.
Hit a wall. Oh,
I don't need to hit a wall.
Nice.
Oh, he didn't die. Dang it.
Yeah, no, he's doing something.
Great, I'm about to take on a Plague Heart, and there's a hungry Feral running around chasing me. Okay.
There he is.
I know. And dodge.
Whoa, okay.
Somebody's I didn't dodge that time.
Dodge.
You were about to say somebody's a great player.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you didn't finish that. Ouch. Hey, knock it off.
Oh, and now, of course, your wrench is dying.
Of course, so I'm going to use my best zombie killing tool.
And smash! Nice. I like how Ferals just can't resist a car.
Wow, this is not going according to any sort of plan. Had I made one, but I didn't really make one, so it doesn't matter.
Well, you got a lot of fire. You got what is that?
Yeah,
a flashbang?
I brought plenty of fire. Just got to take care of these stragglers here. All right. Now I'm ready. My body is ready. Here we go.
So OGD asks, any chance we're getting that option to allow us to set a follower via the character screen? So that is actually a common thing that I've noticed, is that when you want to have a particular follower, it can be difficult to find them because they can get lost, sort of on the map. Like, they can be somewhere in your base, but you're not exactly sure where they are, and so going and finding them in person is difficult. So we've had people asking for whatever tools it would take to make it easier to grab a particular follower that you've targeted on the community screen and decided that you want. So
I also don't have any bullets.
Oh, nice.
This is how you play this game.
So, should we go back to base and try again?
Yeah. In fact, that's a great idea. I'm going to go do that right now.
So, anyway, so OGD, we don't have anything to announce on that, but that is on our list of. We got kind of a list somewhere that we're keeping of things that we know the community wants, and so that is on our list of things we know the community wants, and a lot of those items we have to kind of evaluate them against.
What is going on?
Is that a party over there?
Yes,
two bloaters
there's two bloaters and a jug.
What's happening?
Okay, I'm gonna go tempt fate. Hey guys. Come on. My favorite part is when those guys run and trip.
Not those guys though. Those guys don't run and trip. They just run. I just bumped them into your.
Those guys are not having it.
Do they run and trip when you're in the car? I thought they only did it when you were on foot.
You can get them to. Well, maybe that changed.
Maybe that. I have no idea. I haven't tried attempting them quite that way before.
All right. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to happen right here.
XBlue555 wants to know if we got the gun case by the baseball field toilets. I don't know if we've searched the toilets here. So maybe that's something we should do on our way out, in case there's something cool there.
Oh, that's right. I don't have any bullets because I don't plan things. All right. First of all, I'm going to see who's better suited to going out and doing this. Powerhouse, swordplay. I like Rukari. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's ready to go. She's our longest standing community member. She's been at this for a while.
Well, she's ready. She's ready to go deal some frontier justice.
Does she have all the inventory that she needs? Or
I'm gonna run over and make sure here.
Looks like she's got 35 rounds.
I need that to kill the plague heart. She's got a shotgun.
We've also got pipe bombs if you want those.
Those are always fun.
And do you want a distraction? We've got some fireworks up the top and some boom boxes.
Yeah, I tend not to try and use distractions when I'm at the plague hearts because I want all those guys that are out on the periphery to stay out there. But it might be a good idea.
Yeah, so what I often do is, and I don't know if this is actually an effective strategy or not, what I usually end up doing is I'll take I'll put a distraction right outside. My favorite is the boombox, and then as soon as the plague heart starts calling for help, I turn on the boombox to suck in all the guys that are being called for help.
That's good. All right, we are going to go back and do some Jean-Claude Van damage to that thing. I think maybe.
So Asgard asks if we've got any of the pre-order weapons available to call in this game. No. The code that I got when we were sort of right before the game released, it was not an Ultimate Edition code, so I don't have the Ultimate Edition stuff.
Oh, really?
Or any of the pre-order stuff.
That's too bad. I don't have any of the pre-order stuff, but I do have the Ultimate Edition.
It's kind of okay. I do like to play.
There.
I do like to play. Play games vanilla. Try to reduce the amount of power I have sometimes.
I actually almost never call in the Ultimate Edition stuff, but
I remember I had this one weird experience where I think I originally played Fallout New Vegas on the Xbox, and then I got it. There was a sale on Steam, and I got it also on the PC for super cheap, and it was the well after release Ultimate version that had every possible piece of DLC in it. And so when my character first started, as soon as I finished the character creation sequence, I stepped out and my inventory was suddenly just flooded with 9,000 different perks and benefits and stuff like that came with different DLCs. And I was like, this just isn't even isn't even a challenge anymore. I've got all of the best gear ever, and so I had to like. So I took all that stuff and I like found a container. And I just dumped it all into the container. It's like no. If I ever need this stuff, I'll come back and get it later. But for now, let's just keep it cool.
All right, so here we go.
That is a great game though, by the way. Fallout New Vegas. So P1 Gamer wants to know, how did you get all the names on the characters? And I'm not sure exactly what the question is, but I can talk about the way that the name system works in the game. So there are lots of different... So each character, but as they're being created, they've got a pool of potential names that they could choose. Or potential nicknames that they could choose. And so there's several different stages that they go through. First, they'll... the character will be given their traits, and individual traits can have nicknames that they suggest. The character will be given a random first name and last name based on their cultural background, and each of those will bring possible nicknames with them. And so then you'll have a character who's got a certain set of traits and a first name and a last name, and all of those have kind of contributed together to a list of possible nicknames. And then from that list, it'll make a weighted choice. Some nicknames have very low weights. Some nicknames, by the way, congratulations.
That was the last Plague Heart.
Oh, was it the last one? I didn't think we'd gotten that many. Wow.
Yeah.
And so we're ready to start doing the sheriff deal.
Yes, we are.
And it's a good time too, because we are running low on resources on this map. So
driving around, I realized there's really not much here.
But anyway, so giving characters nickname could come from their first name, it could come from their last name, it could come from one of their traits. And then there's some special rules we have here and there where some cultural backgrounds have just lists of random nicknames that just characters can pick from. Like if your character is, I believe, Thai or Lao, there's a tradition of giving people nicknames that are unrelated to their first names. And so we've got a special nickname list that gets pulled in for like Thai and Lao characters.
I would like to thank you, and by saying thank you, I mean not thank you, because I found and recruited a guy named Farmer, and I was like, oh, I didn't even look. I didn't even check his stats.
To see if he was an actual farmer?
To see if he was actual farmer. I was like, oh, farmer. Geoffrey, probably, he's a farmer, so I recruited him. I kicked somebody out of my
base. To make room for farmer?
Made room for farmer, and he shows up and he's like, hi, I'm good at chemistry. I was like, Geoffrey!
Yeah, we can be sneaky that way.
There was an actual reason why he was called farmer, but it wasn't for the one I needed at that point.
But when it comes to, was he an MMO player and he was like a gold farmer?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or his last name was Farmer. But yeah, so P1 Gamer, choosing the first name and the last name, though, is a whole separate process where each character has a cultural background that sort of determines like the like ethnic and linguistic history of their family, like where their name would likely come from. And so each of those has its own separate, set of lists that it pulls from. And on top of that, within each of those cultural backgrounds, we also have different lists for different ages of people. So, like, say if your name is Aiden, you're probably under 35. But if your name is George, you're probably over 65. And not 100%, but more than likely. And so there's sort of a complicated network of different issues that kind of all feed into a character's name. But the goal is for each character to have a unique and interesting name, and for when you look at the character and you read their name and you look at their traits, it feels like it all makes sense. You're like, oh yeah, I can see why this person has this name. I'm not getting any sense of, that was great, wow. Of being disconcerted or sort of kicked out of the story by this character having this name.
I've always wanted to do that, grab a dude and toss him into the fire. Sorry, I wasted a napalm grenade on that, but it was worth it.
No, it's totally worth it. Garlic Burp says, by the way, that Brant 2.0 looks stronger and sexier than ever.
Wow!
Now that you've been taken apart and put back together again.
Right.
Yeah.
Not quite finished, but, we're getting there.
So Saradax wants to know, can we talk about which or what weapons got nerfed in 3.0? So I'm not actually aware of us nerfing any weapons in 3.0.
I don't believe there was. The last big change was the 50 cal, because it was. I mean, talk about making the game easy.
Yeah, it was sort of an automatic Plague Heart destruction.
I don't believe there's been any adjustment to weapons. Oh, look at
The only thing that I feel like we even nerfed at all was the strategy of pulling and dropping outposts whenever you wanted to. So for those of you who don't know, there used to be, you used to have the ability basically to abandon an outpost and get back the full influence costs that you paid for that outpost up front. And so players were often treating outposts as transitory things, like you just drop one when you want to, have access to your supply locker, and
loot the area,
vacuum it all up, then pick up the outpost again and go, and it would cost you nothing. And so we did make a change in 3.0 where now when you uproot an outpost, you only get 60% of the cost of the outpost back. So you still can use that strategy if you want to. It just costs you more influence to do it. You can't just do it, willy-nilly. You have to, have enough spare influence to be able to eat that influence cost.
Because it does represent the fact that, it takes resources and time to move an infrastructure like that. So.
Yeah, and you got the sense that you're sort of reaching a tacit agreement with all of the other settlers on your map that this outpost is yours. And if you're just constantly changing your mind about it, they're going to kind of lose some trust in you and think you're a weirdo. So that's sort of the fictional explanation in my head for why the influence you get back from abandoning an outpost is lower than the influence you spent to to get it in the first place. But yeah.
The jug knocked that guy.
He just knocked that guy over. Yeah. That's great.
All right.
So I feel like, can you hit that thing with some fire?
Fire does not. Oh, I can hit the gas cloud
with some fire. Oh, but I guess it wouldn't really hurt the juggernaut. So
no, the jug actually. It's like a shower for him. He loves it.
Yeah. It exfoliates and. Oh. Okay, you had the thing where you sort of interrupted him. He's not on his knees yet.
There goes my last shot.
And I'm out.
Oh, okay, so now we're in melee mode? Oh, pipe bomb mode.
We go into pipe bomb mode. Yeah, take that, Mr. Juggington. Oh, God. Switch. Oh,
no.
I played a little pinball there.
All right. Oh. Okay.
Oh, it's broken!
No! And I don't think I got her weapon handling, so... Oh, you did it! You did it!
Get back!
Dodge that zombie!
Get back! Kill! Yes!
Yes! Nice! Hansel Ladula said that he made an outpost at your onion farm, by the way.
That is, just so you know, it's they've built in a trap, so I would not do that. It's going to make you allergic to onions, like I am.
And also...
Well,
sorry, I don't know. I was trying to build...
I'm not going to add the like I am to that.
Sorry.
But, Geoffrey likes to let things personal slip, so now we all know.
That wasn't what was in my head. I'm sorry, Brant. I just thought that was what you were going to say when you said allergic to onions. I thought you were going to say it's going to do something horrible to you.
Get out of my head, Geoffrey.
And unfortunately, when I have a thought, I can't have it not come out of my mouth eventually. So I'm really sorry. That came out really awkwardly.
Well, let's see that one ripple across the internet today.
Naya Cyan wants to know, why is there a cap on influence? So it's pretty common in a lot of games. It's just necessary to put a cap on most things. In a lot of cases, we try to make the cap arbitrarily high. Like I think there is technically a cap on how much stuff you can have in your supply locker, for instance, and I think there's a cap on how many drop bags can be out in the world, or how many unlooted containers you can have out in the world, where you've opened it but you haven't taken all the loot out of it yet. I think there is a limit on those things, but we tried to make the limit high enough that most players would never encounter them. And it would be players would have to be doing completely silly things in order to see those limits happen. But it's kind of impossible to operate without any limit at all, because almost anything, if you make it absurdly high, it's going to end up causing some kind of mathematical or resource problem in the game, and so you need to put caps on things.
Yeah, you'll break the economy because that is essentially our money, right?
Yeah.
If you give somebody unlimited access to that, and at some point you don't have to spend as much influence on our game. So if you just kept accruing that, then
get infinite, and an infinite resource isn't interesting. And also, we really want to encourage you to spend it. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff you can get with influence, and if the game systems encouraged you to hoard influence, then I think it would start to feel broken after a while. And so by putting a cap on it, we're basically saying after a certain point you need to spend it. Like you should go find one of the things that you can spend influence on and spend the influence, even just because you might as well now that you're at the cap.
Do you like close combat or endurance?
Go with close combat, mostly just so that we can show off the fact that we can actually gain close combat experience now, which is one of the benefits of patch 3.0. So I think patch 2, either 2.0 or 2.1, claimed that it fixed close combat, and it did fix certain aspects of close combat. Like it used to be that you could not get experience in close combat at all unless you basically did it with a fighting gym. And so we made a fix that fixed some of the problem, and we thought we'd fix all of the problem, but turns out we didn't. So now, with patch 3.0, we really have fixed the entire problem. If you run around with your default knife, and you're killing zombies, and you got the close combat skill, you should gain experience in close combat. And we will prove that by having our leader specialize in close combat. We won't prove it right this second, because we're playing as, who is this? Is Chris?
Yeah.
It's Chris, but still.
Okay, she's badass.
She's got the best gear.
She has great gear. She's badass.
Yeah, she's great. I've gotten people complimenting that backpack. Like, where can I get that backpack? Again and again.
We don't decide where things go.
Yeah, unfortunately, the backpacks are probably about the most random thing in the game. So.
Are you trying to kill me?
No, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm checking out the cool gun that I have.
Oh, okay. So Leon Anagers is calling out the fact that one particular 50 cal rifle used to be 12 round and then 7 round. Apparently now it's 5 round in its magazine. So I'm not surprised. Okay, so there might have been a couple of 50 caliber weapons that were not nerfed enough the first time around. I can imagine maybe somebody made a couple of last minute tweaks that missed the previous patch and only got showed up in this patch. But it was part of the same effort of trying to bring all of the all of the 50 cals under a certain limit. Basically, we wanted them all to be under 6 rounds in the magazine because they all do basically equivalent damage to a plague heart, and it takes about, I think, 6 or 7 shots from a 50 caliber weapon to take down a plague heart. And so we wanted to make sure that no matter what, you always had to at least reload before you could completely take down a plague heart. Otherwise, there really was just no challenge to it with those weapons. But we didn't want to, because the other way we could nerf it is just really nerf the damage so that you could keep 12 rounds in your 50 BMG and not take down a plague heart with those 12 rounds. But we didn't want to remove so much power from the 50 caliber round that it felt like it wasn't special. Like we still wanted it to feel special, just not just be an instant win button against plague hearts. And so we kind of had to walk a line. We did reduce its power against plague hearts, but also reduced the size of the magazine so we could keep the power high enough that it would still be satisfying. So that's kind of the explanation. But yeah. Calamite wants to know, am I able to find close combat weapons looting random places? I think it's extremely rare.
Most of the time you're going to find them. That's one thing where you get, when you call in the
Independence Pack?
The Independence Pack and stuff like that, you're going to find those on a super rare basis. I don't even know if they're actually part of the loot system.
I feel like there might be just a shred of a chance here and there that you might get one. But yeah. It is extremely rare if it happens at all. Part of the reason is just because there's no mechanical difference from one knife to the next. It's all completely visual, cosmetic. And so when we're thinking about filling out, loot boxes with valuable things you're going to be glad you found, that's very low on our list, just because it is only cosmetic. But when we're thinking about DLC packs and stuff like that, we do keep thinking of close combat weapons.
add those to the loot system because I hope our plan is to create a bunch more for people to choose from. So
yeah, so we'll take a note on that and yeah. See where it fits in.
We are in a really weird spot here, Geoffrey. There's almost no resources left on the map. I'm going to go.
If you want to call for map exits, go right ahead. I mean, we really have been playing in this map for a really long time.
What you'll have to do is prepare your group for exit, right?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just move to a different map?
Let's move to a different map, and
We're not going to finish the legacy.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll try to finish our legacy in the next map. We'll go after all the plague hearts again, which is kind of a fun thing to do while we're killing time on the stream.
Yep.
And then we'll start with an advanced enough community that it won't be a big deal to get back up to full strength.
Because we're not finding food.
I do really like Whitney Field, though. I'm glad we spent a little bit of time here.
Whitney Field's great.
It's pretty cool. We built it, and they came.
That's right. What buildings can I search here? We've got... I'll go check out the farm. Maybe there'll be some food there.
Easy Nov, or Ease Nov, we've got... we have bugs written on the fact that, or at least we've taken note of the fact that sometimes enclaves you've been working with appear to leave kind of suddenly at the drop of a hat. When you feel like you've been helping them consistently, sometimes they'll just say, "Oh, we're done with you," and they'll take off. And you didn't feel like you had enough warning, or that you didn't do enough bad things to them, or ignore them enough for it to be warranted. So we've got a note on that, and it's on our list of things to try to look for solutions for, because you're right that can be a frustrating experience. So it's not, it hasn't been fixed in the new patch or anything like that, but it is something we've been paying attention to. One thing we can show off actually is the fact that when you switch maps, you now, instead of arriving at a rally point near the exit of a map, you actually arrive at one of the starter houses. So that'll be kind of a cool thing to see.
Wow, what have I done? Oh, wait, there's going to be food right there. Or, I hope there's food right here.
So it looks like Megan just linked over on Twitch. Megan just linked the sort of the press information that we have about Daybreak so far, and folks are in the chat are reacting to that.
Okay, creepers are coming now.
That's some food. Okay, come on, lady. Let's give us a little room here.
It's because you got pizza on your back. You guys love pizza. They're like, give us some pizza!
Can't do it.
You can't do that. Ow.
Calamite95 wants to know, is raiding other players for resources and tampons a possibility in the future? So I don't know about raiding them for tampons specifically. One thing we did try to do, though, is we wanted the game to not come across like it is... I don't know, the theme and the message of the game is that humans are terrible to each other, and that, civilization should die in a fire. That seems to be the message of a lot of games that are out there that are set in the apocalypse, and we kind of wanted to make sure that our game was not quite going that far. I mean, we wanted to depict some of the negative things that can happen in a post-apocalyptic world, but we didn't want that to feel like it was sort of the dominant theme of the game. And so we definitely didn't put in any systems that made it really easy or obvious for players to mess with each other. I mean, there are definitely ways players can mess with each other.
Okay, I'm done with these guys.
But we tried not to make it just an obvious central part of the game, because we wanted the game to have a sense of hope and community rather than a sense of despair and cynicism.
None of these people are too happy with me. And maybe the most ineffective Molotov throw in the history of...
So Comrade Cage wants to know if it's true that there are cop outfits on some random survivors. They said they've always heard there are, but they've never seen it themselves. I don't actually think so. I don't think that we ever spawn random survivors.
Well,
do
we have SWAT.
So we've got SWAT zombies.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Yeah, and survivors. Yeah, but I don't think we have cop outfits on survivors. So
No, we do not.
that I mean,
None that I've seen.
yeah. So if people have said that they've got cop outfits and survivors, they're either interpreting something very loosely as a cop outfit, or they're talking about zombies, or they are making things up to bother you. But
Which is not unheard of.
not unheard of. Yeah, I'm not gonna commit to any one of those explanations. XBlue is asking about missions where like red Talon soldiers call for help and then end up dead when you arrive. Usually in a mission, if someone is dead by the time you arrive, that's just a part of the story.
Yeah,
of that
they were
mission.
meant to be dead.
They're meant to be dead. Yeah, it usually doesn't mean that you were too slow or that anything went wrong. It's more we're telling a story about someone that you were too late to save, and their death is part of the mission. It's not a failure on your part. It's just that's part of the story.
I am the worst. There's a fancy melee weapon over here that I want to get to, but rude zombies kept interrupting.
So many dead bodies.
That was kind of a big fight right there
Yeah.
for just being a fruit stand. Come on, hurry up, search. Oh, look at that. We got ourselves a
Whatever that's called.
the
Throw that guy off. Yeah. Get off my truck.
I think I pushed that guy through the universe. He's not even there anymore.
Nice. Oh man. So you missed the best moment on the Microsoft Studio stream that I was on.
Oh,
yesterday.
the one yesterday?
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that, but we were showing off the vehicle stuck option.
Did it explode into the
It
air?
exploded into the air. It was amazing.
Another known issue.
Yes, another known issue. Sorry about that, but that was about the 11th time I'd tried that feature, and that was the first time I'd ever had an explosion. So, and we were able to, like cars can be fixed, and it was fine. So.
Let's be honest, it makes for a great stream when stuff like that happens too, because everyone's like, "What?" We didn't do it on purpose.
So Blaze Experience asks, when you exile someone, what exactly happens to them? Because I always thought it would be cool if they started their own hostile enclave that you had to fight later on. So that actually was an idea we talked about early on. Like when we were first planning the exile feature, we thought that would be really great, and we were completely on the same page about that. But we didn't end up having the time to get to that particular thing. So what happens when you exile them is they become an enclaveless character whose only purpose is to leave the map and go away. And then they go away and they really are gone. I mean, they're treated effectively like a dead character, even though they're not technically dead. They don't get a headstone at your in your community screen or anything. But yeah, so we agree with you that would be really really interesting and neat. But that wasn't the way it ended up working out.
Another car here. What do we got going on? Squish. Find some food. With my new the impossibly large bicycle.
Yes.
But you know what?
What
It's a
kind of-
game. This is a game.
It's from one of those like bicycles with the enormous front wheels.
Right.
Yeah.
From 1890.
Whatever. So I think I suspect the reason those bicycles had the huge wheel was because they did not have gears, and you needed something to get the sort of the differential out of it. So yeah. Hansel Adola wants to know if we could patch the HUD options to offer more granular control, so that because he specifically wants certain HUD elements on the screen and other elements not on the screen. That's definitely worth looking into, though. I mean, it would be complicated to try to do that. I mean, certainly, like right now, we've just got one button that's just like all the HUD go away, or all the HUD come back, except for one element, which is the minimap. You can make the minimap go away by itself, and being able to pick out all the individual. There's a lot of different parts of our HUD, and being able to pick out all the individual ones would be a very sort of time-consuming thing to do. And the question would be, would you rather that programmer create that option for you, or have that programmer working on something else that might be have a bigger impact on more players?
Well, and the answer is we have to spend our programmer time on bugs that are sort of game breaking right now.
Yeah.
And though, I mean, seriously, that was, that's always a desire to give you guys as much control as possible. But there certainly is other pressing issues that we have to. Believe me, more awesome ideas. Oh, crap. Oh, I can't believe I didn't kill that guy. Many, many hundreds of amazing ideas were sacrificed to the lack of code time.
Oh, hey, Hansel Adola just reminded us that we were going to do a giveaway. We are going to do a giveaway. So while you are loading up stuff back at the base, let's switch into giveaway mode.
Giveaway.
And we're going to do... Oh, by the way, welcome back, Brant. We haven't actually seen this banner that I made yet.
Hi. I'm only back this week. I'm back officially in September. So.
Yeah. So, okay, so here is the question. And we talked about this earlier in the show, so you should be able to get this if you've been watching the stream so far. And basically, so if you're one of the first people to get the answer to this question right in Twitch or in Mixer, then you will be entered into a drawing for whoever gets a free copy of the Independence Pack. So the question is, what percentage of your influence do you get back when you are abandoning an outpost? So we talked about this a little bit earlier. It used to be you got 100% of your influence back when you abandon an outpost. But now it's less. How much less? Post the answer in the chat, and we're going to pick a couple winners, one from Mixer and one from Twitch. So go for it. And, it looks like some people have some guesses. I think we're going to move away while folks, while our community managers calculate the winners here. So back here we go. Looking at Toro. I saw this guy's name and I had to recruit him. He's got sewing too, which makes me happy. So he's got the extra room in his inventory.
Toro is going to go take on the enemy Enclave.
Look at that freaking guy's health bar. Look at that health bar.
That's insane. How does he get that health bar?
So he came with both endurance and sewing, and then both of those give you big health bonuses.
Sewing does?
Sewing, yeah, because you keep your clothes in good repair, and so you're better protected.
Gotcha.
So yeah, no, this guy's crazy.
All right. He's in terrible shape.
He's the bull.
Yeah. All right.
But he's in terrible shape. Like he can't run more than a few feet. But he'd take a ton of damage.
I'm gonna give him that gun, and then I'm gonna.
So Del Z Slayer points out the reason why we don't just give the prize to the first person who gets the right answer. She says, I saw five right answers basically before I even heard the question. And so that's what we're trying to do. The reason why we choose from like the top dozen or so is because we know that people are hearing the stream at different times, and we want to give everybody a chance to be the first one
who
gets the answer.
Great to see you.
Okay,
long-time supporter.
We get a lot. Like we get a question. I mean, a request pretty much every stream for somebody who wants us to turn the Firehouse into a base, which is hilarious because we actually did have plans for a Firehouse base, but it ended up being cut from the list because we could only do a certain number.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the bases are some of the most complicated things in the game. They take a lot of manpower and time to set up. And it's not really as simple as just converting a building and just saying, hey, it's got slots now. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And so, and there's also a lot of balance work that goes into it. I mean, I don't know if we necessarily even have a fire station on every map. And then, if we were to add, turn our fire stations into bases, those maps would then have more bases than they're supposed to. And it would become the favorite maps. So it's kind of it's a challenging thing, but definitely we hear the desire for people to have a Firehouse base. And definitely, I mean, the reason why it was on our original list was because we like that idea too. So as we're looking into the ideas of whatever future options we have with this franchise, we'll definitely keep in mind that people really are interested in a Firehouse base. And it looks like we got some winners for our quiz. So we'll come back here. So the right answer, which a ton of you got, was 60%. You get 60% of the price of your outpost back when you abandon it. So the winners we've got on Twitch, we've got Kedron 71 is the winner, and on Mixer the winner is Mike Zat 6 NRA. So congratulations to both of you. You're going to get free codes for the Independence Pack. Hopefully you haven't already bought it, and this will be valuable to you. If you've already got it, then you've got a gift for a friend who plays SOD. And we're getting really close to the end now.
And I'm fighting some bad humans.
So Megan and Jen will get in contact with you guys to work out how to deliver your prize to you. But congratulations. And we are back to the game. Murdering some humans. Self-defense, of course. I mean, they would murder us if given the chance. This zombie is not letting you kill these people. He's like, they're my friends! Leave them alone!
They feed me.
They've been feeding me every day. Where's that person going?
And she just wants to hurt me.
Oh no, she's dealing with...
Oh, and I saved her!
Why did you save her?
I didn't.
Oh. So, this is another one of the problems we have. We didn't actually intend for this banner to show up when an NPC died. That was supposed to be only when members of your community died. So we've actually got a fix for that in the works right now, and so it'll work the way we intended to at some point in the future.
So since all these guys were armed, I'm going to bring my car down and take them.
Just take all their stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and then once you're done with that, we'll probably call an end to this.
Good, because I got to go get my son.
Yeah, and I've actually got a meeting at 2, so we might have to cut it up just a couple minutes early, so I'm not late to the meeting.
And I'm still on vacation, so what the heck
What
am
are
I
you
doing
even here for?
Looting broken guns, I'm looting broken guns. They're fun to have. And sorry, my album comes out next week.
Yeah. Well, these guys all have broken... Actually, one of them had a revolver, and so of course it wasn't broken. Because they have infinite durability.
I do like the revolvers. Is there a... Well, what are you guys doing here? Oh.
Dodging bullets is what they're doing.
Yeah, because I refuse to use Gunslinger for some reason. I don't do it on purpose. I almost never choose Gunslinger, simply because weapon handling is like so extends the life of your guns by so much that. Let's drop this stuff. Oh, and what did I miss? I think I left some stuff. Was there somebody I completely bypassed?
There's usually 3, right?
Yeah, I thought there was 4 this time though.
Oh.
But anyways, okay, I'll head back to base.
Yeah.
And we'll...
How close are we to base?
Really close.
Cool. We can just get there, and then I'll worry about the cleanup. And I'll... did we actually call out for new maps?
Yes, it's in the process.
Okay, so yeah, so when we come back next week, we'll go through the process of going through a new map. So that'll be fun. Get to sort of start at the beginning. And here we are, back at Whitney Field.
Hey guys, you guys must not have heard that I am not going to be playing anymore. Ooh.
Back in the original game, back when it still had offline progress, you would always have to make sure you were leaving your base in the absolute best condition. Otherwise, people could starve while you were away from the game.
Yes, those were the days.
Just teleport that stuff out of here and then we'll go.
All right. Everybody, it's been great to be back. It's great to see everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for playing.
And yeah, so that is Brant Fitzgerald. I'm Geoffrey Card, and you can bug our studio at Undead Labs on Twitter, or bother either of us individually, and that is just fine with us. And enjoy the patch, and we'll keep working on making this game better and more solid as time goes on.
That's right.
And keep watching that Gamescom coverage, because we want to be able to show you more of what we're working on.
Yeah.
So, see y'all later.
All right, love you guys.
Bye.